All right, so it's got your vote. I mean, Julian, do you read newspapers or do you just get all of your press online? I mean, I do mainly these days.
I mostly get it online, I have to say, partly because it's quite important, I think, for all of us to get different views. I mean, I do read the Daily Mail, I don't often agree with it, as well as The Guardian.
But do you read it in paper form?
Only if I have time. So there are times when I'll sit down with a coffee and actually read a paper, but too often I read just the things that are online. What's a shame about that, and I'm sure this is true for a lot of other people, is that when you read things online, you only read the things you know you're interested in. Whereas there is something very different about reading the paper copy and discovering something you never cared about before. So it would be a shame if we lost that.
Is it affordable, though? I mean, is it affordable to keep them going? I mean, it's quite clear, even if Alan Rusbridger has denied it, that there are real challenges for these papers. They're lost leaders, some of them, and that's the only way they can make up revenue is by...
I mean, if you look at what's happening in local newspapers, for example, there's some talk about all going online. There's other alternative models that are being proposed, though, about mergers, for example. And obviously that's quite controversial with all of the things that have happened around Leveson. But I think the real issue, actually, is what happens to those 10 million people who aren't online. That at the moment, there are 10 million people who aren't online. Around 40% of them are older people, people who really do actually treasure having access to decent news. And also, there are a great number of people, like some of the people that I represent, who can't afford to be online but really do care and want to engage in what's happening in the world around them. I think that as we rush to go online and we see more and more of this, those people are increasingly being left behind. Now, the solution to that may actually be to make sure that more and more people are online, that we don't have this enormous digital divide.
Yes.
But I have to say, I do share some of Charlotte's sort of nostalgia for...
do you see it as a fundamental, though, threat to our democracy if we lose it?
I think it's very easy for us, in a sense, a little bubble that we live in,